What's up, Neil?
Hey, Gal, how are you?
I'm doing great today. A little tired. A little
Yeah.
tired. Yeah.
Why are you tired?
Well, it's funny you should ask. So the band leading us in right here is Freako and ended up at the show last night, at the Majestic. So it
Right.
was
How was it?
amazing. It was Freako opened up for Royal Otis. Freako, obviously, I mentioned I saw Lollapalooza on the small stage, and then the Majestic, which is one of our favorite venues ever. Um, we were talking earlier, one of the best shows ever had to have been Old 97s opening up for Wilco at the Majestic. It's like 1,000 people,
Mhm.
it's like amazing. But really good show. Excuse me. Freako, high energy, great musicians, love the bass player. She was full of energy for sure. Royal Otis, wasn't familiar with them other than their Linger cover and
Cranberries.
Cranberries, yep. What I will say is if that's all you know about them, listen to more because actually they were really good. It was just a great show.
Mhm.
Um, but did get home at about 1. Here we are, a little earlier start time than normal because someone's got a bowling night tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, my first night.
Yeah, big co-ed, not co-ed, but mixed league bowling
Yeah.
tonight.
Are you as good at bowling as you are at singing?
I'm a better singer, I think.
Wow.
And I don't even sing that much. Um, yeah, I'm terrible, but I carry about a 160 average.
Nice. All right, so here we are, season 2, episode 22, Triple Deuces.
Mhm.
And we actually have Eric Weiner with us from the Wild Honey Pie. Eric, thanks for joining us.
Of course, guys. Thanks for having me. And just to note, I love to bowl. It's like very hard to convince my friends to go bowling, but when I do, it's the best time. We have some really classy little bowling alleys near me in the Catskills.
So do you have your own bowling ball and shoes?
I'm not that hardcore. I will say though that I love wearing bowling shoes and I've been tempted to buy them in the past just because they're so comfortable and I would probably wear them just out and about.
I remember seeing those people back in the day,
Yeah,
like in high school,
yeah,
like
exactly.
sliding all over.
Well, and they would actually steal the bowling shoes from the
Uh-huh.
bowling
Oh,
alley
I've
and you'd
I've
Well,
been
wear
tempted, but
so,
yeah, I'm not a klepto.
some
them.
well, that or the guy that takes them to sniff them. That seems like the people that are stealing them, right? There's one or two.
That's
Uh,
funny. Well, yeah,
um,
thank you guys so much for having me. I'm really excited to talk more about live music and a little bit about what we do at the Wild Honey Pie.
Yeah,
Love it.
absolutely. And it's funny. It's kind of like the same story over and over, how we met, right? Which I believe you had a post on Threads, something
Yeah.
about, hey, what podcasts are people watching or something or listening to? And of course, I sent two dudes, tag us and with a picture. And then we just kind of started going back and forth. And first thing, I hate Threads.
That's funny. I my company we quit Twitter. We just
Uh-huh.
couldn't get behind the direction it's taken. I used to love Twitter. I refuse to call it X.
Right.
And I think Threads is an interesting replacement for us at least. My personally like my favorite social networks are Reddit and Discord. I think
Okay.
that that's where it's just like such vibrant communities and I've met so many great people on those platforms.
Hmm.
But of course like Instagram is a big one for us too. But yeah,
Right.
threads is cool. Threads
I,
is cool. It's
so
very interesting.
I gave it a bad rap. It's one I was never a Twitter guy or anything. So I'm still trying to figure out how to almost use it really. And it's
Well, it
just
brought us together. Isn't that
yeah,
romantic?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a good thing. And actually we've grown a little bit on it. But so one, tell us about the wild honey pie. What exactly
Yeah.
is it? How did it start?
Let's
What it
hear some
grow from?
background because I've heard
Yeah.
great things.
Yeah, for sure. So the Wild Honey Pie was my music blog. Um, in 2009, I was at CU Boulder in Colorado and writing about writing about bands, writing album reviews, doing concert reviews. Ended up at MTV in London, which really kind of informed the direction of the Wild Honey Pie and the blogosphere, as it was called at the time, was just like a really vibrant community of music lovers curating and helping people discover new music. And I think there are certain types of people in this world that kind of get off on sharing new music and helping people find their next favorite band. I'm certainly one of those people, and I think
Guilty.
music bloggers in general are and were that kind of person. And it got to the point where like record labels were scouring the blogs to find out who to sign. They were making imprints with music blogs. I think as the music journalism industry really shifted with the rise of Spotify, music discovery went from the blogs to the DSPs, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, etc. And with it, it was already very hard to build a career as a music blogger and to make money. And as the industry shifted, it became next to impossible. Of course, there's exceptions to the rule with Stereo Gum, for example. Love what they do, but it's really hard, and we couldn't figure out that formula in a way that was equitable, in a way that allowed us to pay our team fairly. So a few years ago, we reinvented the Wild Honey Pie as a creative agency. Essentially, we get hired by brands like Voodoo Ranger and New Belgium, which you have on your desk right now, to build community around the artists that we love. Build community by making beautiful video content, by throwing parties that reward the super fan, and get artists and fans closer together in a really beautiful, euphoric environment that gives everyone the feels. I mean, truly, the goal is to change people's lives forever by helping them not only, meet the artist and build that relationship, but connect with like-minded music fans that are in this together, that feel invested in the success of the artists that we all love in an industry that is very hard to make it in. So we have a huge emphasis not only on music, but also on food. So every single party we throw combines our passions for music and food in a way that I am not seeing done elsewhere. We have a few different projects that we kind of focus on under the Wild Honey Pie Presents. That being our dinner party series. So 5-course meal with your favorite band, including an artist performance. We're big on surprises. So at all of our parties, we give out some signed vinyl. We do a limited edition one night only sticker. A lot of stuff like that. We'll pull a band aside and introduce them to someone we know is a big fan, and then get a Polaroid of them together, stuff like that hopefully will make people's day, week, year. And then we also have our pizza party series, which is a collaboration with Paulie G's Pizza, the iconic home of the Hellboy, which is one of the first pizzas that was famous for making hot honey a thing. In fact, Mike from Mike's Hot Honey worked at Paulie G's. So we're really proud to work with Paulie. We do those mostly in the Catskills, in upstate New York. Yeah. It ends up being mostly New York City people, but like half New York City, half upstate people, which is great. Folks come from the Capital Region, as well as the Hudson Valley, and then, like I mentioned, New York City. But we actually just closed a deal with Hilton to bring this series to graduate hotels in 4 new cities. So very exciting.
And the Catskills, real quick, is how far north from New York City?
It's like 2 hours north of New York City. It's where like Hunter Mountain is. There's a lot of hiking. It's where I live now.
You said near Woodstock, right?
Yeah, so Woodstock is in the Catskills, exactly.
And Hudson Valley is.
Yeah, so like the Catskills and Hudson Valley are just like right next to each other. Okay. Right. They're both within like 2 hours of New York City. Gotcha. Really beautiful area with a lot of great restaurants, a lot of great music.
Yeah, I found some golf courses that I want to golf.
Yeah, there are a lot of golf courses. I personally play a lot of tennis. There's a lot of good tennis courts. Exactly. And just to wrap up, we also have 2 party weekends that we produce. Depending on brand support and the money coming in. And those are On the Mountain, which is our ski weekend, and Welcome Campers, our summer camp. So imagine being with 10 of your favorite artists and hanging out in the lake, making friendship bracelets, tie-dyeing shirts, going to a camp dance with a performance by, an artist that you love, and just kind of being immersed in the culture of love, like in a way, it's just like, everyone loving everyone, feeling the positive energy and the euphoria of not only music discovery, not only food, but ultimately community. I think like that's the big thing for us.
And same thing here. I mean, that's what we talk about all the time. Like live music, that's what it is. It's a community. It's the one time where you get thousands of people together. You're all focused on the same thing. Um, and you don't get that too often. And really, as I was listening, you described, kind of what you guys do. I mean, you offer experiences. A once in a lifetime experience is the way I look at it. I mean, I couldn't imagine. So I'm just thinking we could say, hey, we want to do something here in Detroit, and then you guys kind of work and find a band, or how does that all work? Like if we said, hey, we want to be in Detroit, Wild Honey Pie, two dudes, we're going to collaborate and have some sort of bash. How does that work?
Yeah. So
As
typically
you
the
can see, the
conversation,
wheels are already turning.
I love it. I love it. The conversations are either led by the label or the brands. So the money has to come from somewhere.
Okay.
As much as ticket sales are great, the majority of our money does not come from ticket sales. The majority of the money comes from brands like Voodoo Ranger or record labels that want us to plug their artists into what we're doing.
Gotcha.
So it's about finding brands that want us to be in a certain place at a certain time. And then we go ahead, we find the restaurant. If it's a dinner party, we go ahead, we find the artist. Artist gets paid a few $1,000s to play a show for 60 people. So it's, we try to make sure it's as high paying for the artist as possible. And then, of course, we film everything we do. Our YouTube channel has over, I think we have about 72,000 subscribers. And on YouTube, we have about 50 million views of our videos, both on our channel and the artist channels combined. So, for that to work, we would basically, I think the best idea would be to go to New Belgium and talk to them about seeing if they want to do something with Bells in Michigan, because I know Kalamazoo is just up the road.
Right.
And then do something really special. Maybe maybe we get Freako.
That would be awesome. I would love it.
Hey, yeah, I know. I know their booking
on.
agent. I know their booking agent, and I think I know their manager. So we could have that conversation.
Right.
Well,
right.
So it was funny because I probably emailed with a bunch of those same people trying to figure out if I could get to this show because it was sold out. And it was, like I said, Royal Otis, I wasn't familiar other than that Linger cover, which
they're cool.
They're really cool. I mean, of course, it's Dolores, right? You can't, but it's a cover and they do a good job with it. And like I said, everything else, I mean, they were awesome. It was a great
I mean, their other songs are great. Yeah, I really like that band.
I love their sound, and it really reminded me of being back in like the 90s, and seeing some of these younger up and coming bands that actually, shred and play instruments. It's actually pretty refreshing. Two bands both in like their early 20s.
Yeah.
I was easily probably in the top 10 oldest there. At least it felt like it. Fuck.
That's funny.
No, that's awesome. I love what you guys are doing. I mean, because that's the way I always looked at concerts. They're experiences. You go, it's a once in a lifetime, that moment in time. Of course, I do take videos because it's part of my job now, but I also don't just sit there record the whole show because I like to enjoy it too. I'm a super fan first, to be honest. And this is just something I do for fun, and I tell you what, I'm loving it. I love meeting people like you and hearing your story about how like you said, you started with a blog and now here you are. And
amazing. I can't believe that in 2009 you said you started
crazy to think. Yeah, man. We're actually celebrating 15 years this year we're throwing a party in Brooklyn to celebrate with the band Raw Riot.
Oh,
nice.
Righty. That's awesome.
So one band that I've been found quite a bit lately is DMV&B. They just played Brooklyn last Saturday.
Oh, where did they play?
Kitchen Club, or I don't know. It looked like a pretty small thing. It's actually Peter DiStefano, the guitarist from Porno for Pyros, his new band. So they're just kind of starting out. They're actually going to release their first song ever together as a band, and so yeah, they're just starting out. They just played in Brooklyn, and me and Neil went to the Porno for Pyros farewell tour in Detroit, which was awesome. But speaking of that, did anyone? Obviously, we all saw probably Perry Farrell last night
with
went toe to toe with Dave Navarro and punched him in the face on
Jane's
stage.
Addiction.
Oh my God, I did not see that. That's
Yeah.
insane.
It's all over. Yeah, like he got all fired up, like got up in his face and like tried to, shimmy him a little bit and like takes a swing at him and then show was over.
Was
So
there blood?
no, I don't think, I don't know.
Okay,
I
That
don't know.
picture that was shown, I was like, was there actually like blood going down?
And then Perry's wife then gives her account of events right on Instagram. And apparently by the end, Eric Avery had Perry in a headlock, punched him in the gut like a few times. So I don't know. I'm like, they're playing Detroit on Friday, but I couldn't go anyway. So we'll see what comes out of that. That's crazy.
I think Perry probably had too much wine.
Probably. But I mean, you remember Porno for Pyros. I mean, his voice was getting drowned out by the music, but I mean, he just isn't where he used to be, and that's the one thing when you see some of these people, like the musicians, they still sound damn good, right? But a voice comes and goes, and then his especially, and the dude's like 65 years old. So I think it might be about time, unfortunately, for one of the legends, but we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. It's like brothers, right? You beat the shit out of each other, and next thing you know, you're best friends again. So we'll see.
Are we now talking about Oasis?
Yeah, good luck with that tour.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh my God, they got to come to the U.S." I'm like, they got to make it through the UK first. There's no guarantees there.
Yeah, that's very exciting though.
Yeah, it is. I was really happy to see that. So, your thoughts on it? Something you'd go see or what?
It's a lot of money. It's a
Yeah.
lot of money for a concert. I think if it was, I don't know, I'd like for it to be more of an experience than just a show for that price. But listen, if you love Oasis at $300,
Oh,
it is what it is. It is what it is. I
absolutely.
think the dynamic pricing on Ticketmaster is an interesting thing. Haven't really made up my mind about it, but just the rich get richer, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't understand. Just why can't we just set a price? That's all it is. And the one thing I do like is they finally will show you like the all-in price earlier than the very end.
Well, that is nice. Yeah, and that's not in every state. That's
No,
just
it's not.
it's
And it
in New
doesn't, yeah.
York, it's in California, maybe I guess Michigan.
It looks like some shows in Michigan they'll do that, but it doesn't look like it's across the board yet.
I
I
mean,
do
as
like
an
that
event
part, but
producer, I would set a price for a ticket that's $55 and then it's presented as like a $70 ticket with all the fees.
right.
So there's, I understand both sides of it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, ticket prices, I mean, you could go on for days about that. And
It's less just the ticket price and it's more about the fees. The fees are insane. It's
100%.
crazy. And honestly, something needs to be done. Something needs to be done.
Well, yeah, well, basically, I mean, it's a monopoly between Ticketmaster and Live Nation now, right? With all
Totally.
so, but so now let's dig into some of your concert history. Do you remember what your first show was ever?
That's a great question. Yeah, actually. I was very big into emo music in high school, Taking Back Sunday, The Used, Coheed and Cambria, something corporate, all the bands that honestly are having like a resurgence right now, which is kind of funny. But my first concert ever, they have since been canceled, so I haven't been listening to them as much because it was very kind of a shady story. But I did see Brand New at Roseland Ballroom in 2003, I think it was, or 2004 maybe. Around 2002 to 2004 was when I saw this concert. This was the first concert I went to like by myself,
Right.
with a friend.
Right.
So that was pretty crazy. I mean,
How old were
my
you?
first concert had a mosh pit, so I definitely stayed far away from moshing because I'm afraid of it. But that was a lot of fun. But my first concert I think I ever went to was probably the Beach Boys with my parents.
Nice.
Oh, the Beach Boys.
Without Brian Wilson though, so that's not doesn't count as much.
Right. You mentioned mosh pit. So high school through college, I mean, that was when grunge broke, right, for us. And I remember seeing Smashing Pumpkins in Detroit. I think it was like fall, winter of '93, right? Just when right before Siamese Dream came out, but they're playing all those songs. And everyone's like moshing and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know, like, and seeing the crowd surfing, and like I'm trying to get up on the front rail, you know, and enjoy it. And I just never understood it, never liked it. Like you said, I didn't want to get hurt. I'm like kind of an anxious guy. I'm like, I'm gonna lose my wallet, you know, or I'll lose a shoe. I mean, what these people are nuts.
Yeah, they're like throwing elbows.
Right.
Running in circles like cattle. What the hell are you doing?
That's hilarious. What was your most recent concert? What was the latest one you went to?
I was at Radio City Music Hall 2 nights ago to see Rainbow Kitten Surprise. Uh,
Nice.
Fun band name, really amazing band. I mean, really have become one of my favorites. They have a new album that came out this year, super awesome. They have a song with Casey Musgraves, which I think is very cool. One of my favorite
Nice.
songs of the year. And then Medium Build opened up for them, and I actually hadn't heard of them before, and now they're like one of my new favorite bands. Which, funny how that works. Love music discovery, love finding new artists, and yeah, Medium Build and Rainbow Kitten Surprise at Radio City Music Hall, which is obviously an iconic venue.
Oh,
Really amazing. Uh, really stunning place to see a show. Fits over 5,000 people. So, if you're seeing an artist that at that venue, they've certainly seen a nice level of success, and just so exciting to see artists reach that level, that you've been listening to for years. Rainbow Kitten Surprise played one of my parties in 2017 in Austin, Texas, and to see them playing in front of 400 people back then to 5,000 people now,
that's
it's
awesome.
really wholesome.
And as fans of music and live music, everything, there's nothing better than catching that band like day one and then riding the wave with them, telling us, hey,
Totally.
I remember seeing them with a few hundred people, now they're playing arenas. I mean, that is like, it's almost like the music aficionados like badge of honor. Everyone's got their
Totally. I have
story.
a few artists like that. I saw All J with 12 people in the
Love Alt
room.
J.
I saw Lucius in that setting. Now they're playing with Joni Mitchell. Uh, I've seen so many artists that I love in these intimate settings, both because of my parties, but also just being in the industry and seeing early on bands.
And knowing, oh, this band's an up and comer, not knowing, but hell, the word on the street is this band is good. Let's go see him at this little club that only only holds 100 people.
Yeah, exactly. The Mercury Lounges of the world.
Exactly. Funny you mentioned Medium Build because I never heard of them either, but saw them at Lollapalooza this year.
Oh, how was it? Did you like it?
Oh, it was awesome. Did all 4 days. To be honest, when it was the 20th anniversary, went to the touring years, 92 to 95, if you've ever seen the documentary, that was like the sweet spot. Hadn't been to Chicago yet, and it was the 20th anniversary, so me and my wife went all 4 days. She made two, so she was a trooper. But it was awesome. I had never seen the Killers, Blink 182, or Hozier, and they were all headliners, so that was kind of the crux of going. But the beauty of it was all the different genres, and walking, there's like 8 stages. So walking through and you're seeing a Medium Build or a Freako or the Last Dinner Party, and then
I love that band.
oh
Man,
yeah,
my
love
friend
them.
works with them.
Hippocampus.
Oh man, they're one of my favorites. They
And
released a new
actually, they're
song the
coming
other
to
day that I
Detroit. I
love.
just bought a ticket. They're at the Fillmore Detroit, which is like my favorite theater in Detroit. It's so really looking forward to that. But yeah, when you mentioned Medium Build, I saw you. I think you posted something the other day about them, and
I
I was like,
did. Yeah, I just posted a little story from
yeah.
the concert.
Um, you mentioned Alt J too. That's a band I really like. And I thought, did you say that you did an event with those guys at one point?
They played a buzz session for us, which was like our live session that we were doing at the time. We did it for 10 years. You can still watch them on our YouTube channel. But like taking artists to recording studios, rooftops, parks, wherever for unique recordings of their music, some of which we ended up releasing on Spotify. But that's what we did with Alt J back in 2000, must have been 2012 or 2013. We brought them to Electric Lady Studios, which is the studio in the Greenwich Village that Jimi Hendrix
Oh wow.
founded. So that was a pretty iconic moment. We worked with Ben Baptiste and Tom Elmhurst on that one. So Tom is obviously an iconic producer.
Nice.
That was really a special moment for me. We ended up hanging out at the rooftop of the studio after. Just I'll never forget that day. That's for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So one thing we always talk about on Two Dudes is our Forever Five. If you're not
Mhm.
familiar, that's you're on a deserted island, 5 artists or groups, full catalog, and this is where I always say this is where Spotify really comes in handy because you get those deep tracks and stuff. So if you had to put your top five, and we have also our second line, we call it, if it's too tough of a choice between like five, six, seven, who would you put in your list?
This is a hard question.
Took me 2 months. Nail
Um,
mine down.
Probably.
so
Could take a life.
first of all, I am a very big Death Cab for Cutie fan. So
Nice.
I've seen them so many times. They're definitely in my top five, Forever Five.
I love it.
Um, yeah, you know, a band. I was trying to kind of pull an artist from different eras for me. Death Cab being kind of like my college, post college years. Um, Jack's Mannequin being a band from maybe my high school and college years that I was a big fan of and still am today.
Jack's what?
Jack's Mannequin. It's
Nice.
Andrew McMahon. So he has three different projects,
Oh.
one being something corporate, the other being Jack's Mannequin, and then the final, most recent being Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness.
That's the one I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
I actually, that's the only one I'm familiar with, to be honest. But
Yeah, you gotta check
everything
out
I've
the old
heard
stuff.
from him, I really like. I really like him.
Yeah, so good.
So good.
Yeah, so good. I'm trying to think, you know, Local Natives just played our ski weekend. That was really special. They've been a favorite band of mine for ages. Have had the privilege of seeing them in many different settings. Andrew Bird is one of my favorite artists, and seeing him live is definitely like a transcendent experience because he loops everything. He has a big spinning gramophone on the stage. It's a super cool experience, and he plays violin and he whistles. Like Andrew Bird is definitely one of my
Nice.
top favorite artists that I've ever seen live. Yeah, and like other than that, I think bands like Phoenix, the Shins are one of my favorite live bands. Rubble Bucket is one of my favorite live bands. Phoebe Bridgers, I've had the privilege of seeing multiple times. Love her. Pine Grove. Yeah, I think those are a few of them. First
You
Aid
have
Kit.
top five, and you have a second line. Yeah, I think
You might even have a third line going.
right.
Yeah, so I'm just
No, I
listing
love
them
it.
off, man. It's hard to narrow it down, but I will say like Andrew Bird and Death Cab for Cutie are definitely two of my favorite artists, and that band Rubble Bucket is probably the best live act that I've ever seen.
Nice. I've never heard of them, so I'm gonna have to check them out for sure. That's the beauty of this too, is you talk to people, you hear it goes back to what you were saying, you introduce music to people and you kind of share the stories. Oh, have you heard this one? And then next thing you know, that's what I loved about back in the day. That's how you kind of not only interacted with people, but you built your music knowledge and catalog. And I mean, because I had Rolling Stone, my brother would get that, so I would pick up new music from that a lot of times, and then Metro Times, which is like that local indie paper in the Detroit area. So that's how you find out about shows and that. And sometimes you're just lucky to catch a song here or there, and then you had to like literally be Sherlock Holmes to figure out who sang it and find more information about it.
Well, I think obviously TikTok is a great way to discover music these days. I'm personally not on TikTok, but
neither am I.
And it comes with its issues. I think some of the issues with TikTok are that you can have a favorite song, it goes viral, but it doesn't elevate the artist. People don't even know who the artist is still. They just know the song. And that is a serious problem in the music industry and something that we're trying to address. But nonetheless, it is a good music discovery tool.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's a great point about that.
So how do you make that not better, but
How do you solve that problem is
solve
with
it.
a little bit of
Yeah.
fan service, finding
Yeah.
ways to connect with your super fans and
Right.
really elevate that category of fan, because they account for something like 60% of your revenue, something
Right.
crazy like that, which is uh ultimately these are your brand ambassadors. These are your
Right.
champions. These are the people that are telling everyone they meet about your
Man.
music. And that's what artists need. They need people that are going to listen to their albums, not their
Yeah.
songs.
And that's pretty much what you guys are trying to provide, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, it's exactly what we're trying to provide. We're trying to connect fans and artists in unique ways, and have that conversation that really converts maybe more casual listeners to becoming super fans as well.
yeah, and that's I love the idea of what you do, like these
Amazing.
parties or whatever, because like you said, you're gonna have a handful of maybe super fans, but they're bringing some of their friends, trying to make that conversion and stuff, and it's just a great time. Um,
A beautiful, beautiful time. That's true. I actually met my wife because of my parties, which
oh, really?
is
Nice.
very nice. Yeah, it's all about not just connecting with the artist, but also connecting with other music fans. And listen, I love to go to a concert just as much as the person next to me, but I will say that the concert format isn't really built for that connection. As much as I've met people at concerts before, but even the other night at the Rainbow Kitten surprise concert, the way that the Wild Honey Pie produces a party is so specifically made for making new friends, for building your
Right.
community out, that it's just kind of a different beast.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
do you,
sorry, go ahead, Neil.
well, do you go into a show and you know expect to expect something, or do you go into a show and oh, I'm gonna find something, like a friend or something where I'm gonna connect with, like you personally. I mean, obviously you're in the
I'm always trying. I'm a
yeah,
bubbly person. I'm an outgoing
right,
guy. I'm always trying to meet new people and make new
like
friends. But
Yeah, that's
that's just like a
that's the way I've always,
yeah,
concerts in general, right? When the act's playing, I might as well be by myself. I don't want to talk to anyone. I
oh,
don't
of
want to sing a
course, of
song. I just
course.
want to enjoy the moment. But it's the before, the after. Whenever I go to show, you know where I always go? Where's everyone smoking? Because you have a
yeah.
group of people, they're there for at least 5 or 10 minutes. I'll pass out my stickers and talk, and
Well, when we saw Peter Hook and the Light,
yeah.
we got the table and we talked to those guys behind us. The guy and
Uh-huh.
it was his wife, or whatever.
Yep.
I mean, they were there because they freaking heard that freaking music in the '80s, and they're like,
Oh,
hell yeah,
they drove from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, they drove to Royal Oak,
I
Michigan from
thought that was
Cleveland because
cool as
Peter
fuck.
Hook wasn't
And I was
playing
always,
Cleveland.
we were in front of them. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't want to like. You're like, no, you're good. I'm like, okay.
So that was a cool show, and it actually happened to be, it was the same exact night as Cage the Elephant, Young the Giant, and Bakar. And
Wow.
I had the Peter Hook and the Light tickets ahead of time. Never seen Cage the Elephant, never seen Young the Giant, love them both, and never seen Bakar, which I've just learned about over the last year, so he's
Yeah.
new.
Cage the Elephant and Young the Giant were on the same bill.
Yeah.
Yes. And
That's
Bakar.
exciting. We've actually worked with both those bands. We've done a lot with Cage the
Oh,
Elephant,
really?
Yeah.
and
Oh,
have
shit.
made some music videos for Young the Giant back in man, that must have been 2010 that we did that.
Dude, I
Wow.
love Young the Giant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we
super,
ended up at
super
Peter Hook
nice
and the Light
guys.
instead, which was super cool. I mean, that guy's a icon, right? And played a ton of Joy Division, New Order songs, but
Yeah.
there was a certain part of me that was like, do you just trash these and go and see Cage the Elephant and the other one,
They're really good performers, man. Cage the
Oh, and
Elephant live is like unlike anything else. Matt is crazy in a great way.
I know. I saw the freaking photos. They played at Pine Knob, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So I'm like, fucking guys are fucking
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
that was
great. I
good.
think
Their skills. I'm like, what the fuck?
he's a live concert photographer's dream.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I didn't realize that. I mean, I of course heard their music, I'm like, and he's jumping up and down, or I mean, everybody's like crazy. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw Cage the Elephant with Spoon
oh, I love
at Forest Hill Stadium, which is like a tennis stadium, a couple years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
I'm a big fan of Spoon.
Yeah, how was Spoon? I haven't
They're
seen it
awesome.
live.
I love Spoon. They're so good, and their new stuff is really good.
Yeah,
His
that's what I wanted
voice
to
is
ask.
so iconic.
Yeah, yeah. Is their new stuff just as good as their old stuff? I have.
Yeah, I do think so. I
Yeah.
really do. I think their new stuff is amazing.
Uh
And
And they're also a band that makes a really good album cover, and
huh.
that's important to me as a visual person. Like I you can judge a lot by an artist by their album cover.
100%. I agree. Especially, I mean, I don't want to age myself, but for like the older fan, like you remember the album covers and you know the
Absolutely.
And
whole
the music videos.
the video, the whole thing
Mhm.
about it. And I mean, one thing on Two Dudes, so we release our episodes every other Tuesday at midnight. Just like when you used to go and wait in line to get the new albums at midnight on Tuesdays, right? That was
That's
always the new
fun.
day for music. And you know, I always try to like tie it back to like some of that nostalgic stuff, like because that's where it started. I was 15 when I went to Aerosmith and Joan Jett, and it was like I'm gonna do a hell of a lot more of this through my life, through you know high school, college. I mean, show upon show. I mean, it's been hundreds now, but I had that break, right? Wife, kids, everything, and then. But as they grow up, you need hobbies and stuff. So this is how we started Two Dudes, and you know the thing is, we bring people on that we haven't talked to in years. We bring on people that, I mean, met some dude that from Flint, Michigan that's playing, trying to make it. So I was like, hey, yeah, sure, come on. And then we meet people. Yeah, Jason Wagner,
Jason
absolutely.
Wagner, talented.
Uh-huh. And then meeting new people like you who are doing really awesome things.
Mhm.
And it's actually inspirational. You know, it's
Right.
hear about your journey and where you started, where you're going, and still seeing the passion when you talk about it. Because that's the way we are, you know. So it's always good to see kind of that success story. Because sometimes it gets rough, man. You know, when you're up
Oh,
at
no
2 in
doubt
the
about
morning trying
that.
to figure out what the hell you know. But plus, I got a day job, so
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah, Eric,
absolutely.
we freaking appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it was really cool. I'm really glad you reached out. So, what shows anything coming up on the horizon?
Yeah, so the Wild Honey Pie has three parties next week.
Oh
So we
shit!
got a lot going on. We've got Bendigo Fletcher at the Osprey restaurant in Dumbo, New York, in Brooklyn. We've got Sammy Ray and the Friends, amazing artist that we're throwing an album release party for. And then next Sunday, we have a party with the band Wet, which is a part of our pizza party series with Paul E.G.'s in upstate New York at a place called Stonehills Farmhouse. There's going to be like animals walking around and then live music and pizza. Should be
That's
a lot of
awesome.
fun. And then next month we have four parties, so we're planning for all that stuff as well. So
Sweet.
a lot coming up, and that'll probably be most of my live music experiences for the next
Right.
couple months. But I hope to squeeze in a
That's
few concerts as well.
yeah, that's cool though. I mean, it comes with the job, right? So you're still experiencing live music and bringing joy and people together, which I mean, again, that to me, that's always what music's about, right?
Uh-huh.
Totally, yeah. It's all about bringing people together. Definitely.
So that kind of brings us towards the end.
Oh well, this has been fun.
It's been fun as hell. And else you want to keep going? What you got?
What you
No, uh, like I said, I would love to. I could see us having you on again. I could see us. I mean, hopefully, I mean, trying to do something together, whether however that looks and feels, right? Because I just look at a lot of parallels between you know where you're at, where we're at. I mean, the fact you know you see medium build, you know that just these little things that as we go through it all, and it's like I think I think we could do something together. I think that'd be sweet.
Sounds great.
Uh,
And well, I think that like with the restaurant thing, I think that's amazing.
yeah,
You know, like what you're doing with, you know, bringing food into the music too, and then
absolutely. Like it's
getting
the
the artists and
whole
everything,
experience,
you know.
and the fact like the whole dinner party with the band and then
Yeah.
a show with all that. I mean, I've never heard of such a thing.
I know.
So
I
the
think
fact that you kind of found that niche
right, and
and I think people are craving something like
mhm.
that. Like
And I
they
think
want to be
Detroit,
around their artists. They want to, and then they also want to bring their friends. Like you always said, you always want to introduce people. It's like I couldn't even imagine. Oh, hey, we're gonna have this party and Alt J or whatever, or whoever's gonna be here, and I love this band. I mean, Neil, come on, and just I could just imagine it just being a really cool time.
Yeah, you must have.
Yeah, for us, it's all about taste.
Yeah.
Everything we do is about taste, and that has to do with music taste. That has to do with food, of course, design. Our concert posters, our
Yeah,
animated videos that we make,
this guy's amazing.
Yeah, I did
all of
notice that.
that.
I love the artwork on a lot of your events.
Thank you, thank you.
So
Yeah,
who?
it's definitely very important to us. So really, it's all about the taste and the curation. And I think we need more curation in the world. We need more tastemakers, and I think that's really, really important to the future of what we're doing as well. That it will always have that kind of hand curated feel to it. Making sure that when we do a dinner party, that when we produce a dinner party, that the restaurant is just as good as the band, is
Right.
just as good as the poster, is just as good as the drinks,
Oh,
is
yeah.
just as good as the brands that are paying for it. And I
Right.
think that's a really important part is like, yes, brands pay for a lot of what we do,
Sure.
but they're really cool brands.
Right.
It's Olipop, it's Grillo's Pickles, it's Half Day
Everything in my
Iced Tea. It's Voodoo Ranger. It's stuff
Yeah.
that people really want to learn about because these are really cool companies with really cool people working there
Right.
that believe in the power of music to unify the world and to bring people together. And like that's not lost on me. That's not lost on me that these
No.
brands like see what we do and think like this can help our bottom line and this can help the world
Right.
at the same time.
Right. Actually, yeah, it can be both. You don't have to have one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And and that I've always loved bells. I mean, so back in college, when I was just graduating college, I mean, Bells was around, and actually Oberon used to be called Bells Solson. It had the same sun and everything on it. And, back then there wasn't that much craft beer around. And then the next thing you know, like Western Michigan blew up as like this craft beer haven. And Bell's was like this hidden little gem, for the longest time. Two Hearted, I always say, nothing gets you started like a Two Hearted.
It's a great beer. It's a
It's
really
a
good
great
beer.
beer. And, now that, uh,
New
was it New
Belgium.
Holland bottom?
New Belgium.
New Belgium bottom, I mean, now everyone gets to enjoy it, which is super cool.
Shorts.
And
Also, New Belgium is a B Corp. They are doing their part for the planet, which I think is really important.
I agree.
The corporations do need to take the lead on that. From their carbon neutral offices to the way they manufacture their beer and produce their beer. I think that actually is very important to us. Like we have a lot of eco practices in place as a small business, but we prioritize working with B Corps.
Right.
Olipop is a B Corp, Maker's Mark is a B Corp, and of course, New Belgium is a B Corp as well.
Right. No, that's awesome. And it's funny just how all of that stuff comes together, and companies like this. I mean, you said it. It's not just bottom line. They're in it for everything. They're in it for the long haul. They're the whole shebang, as they say, right? So, no, every episode, I can guarantee you probably see Bells and Voodoo Ranger on the table. There used to be a couple other local ones, maybe Short, the Great Lakes Brewery,
Great.
Founders, of course. But sometimes when I have a few too many, you might see a Diet Mountain Dew and like a seltzer water, non-alcoholic up there, just because I have nothing else to put up there. But
My God, Diet Mountain Dew is having a moment with all the talk about Diet Mountain Dew in the news with all the politicians drinking
oh,
it.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, thank you guys so much. I will want to add my favorite concert of all time.
Absolutely. That's one thing. Yeah. Best concert you've ever seen, or whatever. What it doesn't have to be best, but whatever, most memorable, whatever meaning to you. And do you have like it could be more than one, but that one killer tune live that you saw just like blew you away. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
We'll keep this really concise. I think I've been to a lot of great music venues, from the Gorge in Washington State to Forest Hills to MSG. I've actually never been to the Hollywood Bowl, which is on my list. I know it's a great one, but the
Had to
best
have been to Red Rock since you live in Boulder.
well, that's where I'm getting to.
Okay.
God damn it. But one of the best concerts I've ever been to, and I actually just found the ticket stub the other day, was Death Cab for Cutie, Andrew Bird, and Rara Riot, 3 artists who I've already mentioned on this podcast. At Red Rocks when I was a senior in college with my best friend Christy. And it was so amazing. I'll never forget that moment. And seeing Death Cab play, seeing them play Transatlanticism recently, that was also a beautiful moment. Seeing them perform in specifically the song Lack of Color, which is the last song on the album, a song made famous, I think, on like Grey's Anatomy or something, when that was a big thing for music discovery. But hearing Lack of Color, the sadness, the beauty. Yeah. I mean, I don't usually record songs live. Like I'm just like, I'm in the moment. I'm not going to record this.
Should be.
But I have that whole performance recorded on my phone because it's
awesome.
It's really, that song is just so beautiful. And if I have the opportunity to showcase that song at a Wild Honey Pie party, I'm already coming up with ideas for Death Cab for Cutie when it comes to the Wild Honey Pie, because
if you're doing something,
their fans would appreciate it so much. And it would be, you can't do an album anniversary tour for every album, but you can do an album anniversary show for every album. And I'd love to showcase Narrow Stairs or some of the more recent albums in a unique setting that really gives back to the fans who care so much about what Ben does, and really looks to them as a band that's been tried and true. So those are a few things that I've been excited about recently, and obviously not as recent with that Red Rock show that was in 2009 or 2008.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been to Red Rocks. That's like my number one have to get to.
It's funny, real quick.
No, good.
Real quick. Death Cab for Cutie. So I used to work for a company a couple years ago, and they had a conference, and Death Cab for Cutie was the freaking live band, right? And
what company?
Well, I don't really want it. It's property management company, but it was
in like San Diego.
Yeah, it was in San Diego, and Paul, who is Cal's brother, he and I worked for this company, and Death Cab for Cutie was the band,
the entertainment for the evening. A couple thousand people that don't even have a damn clue who they are. A lot of
yeah, exactly. So I asked a couple of employees, I'm like, "How was Death Cab for Cutie?" And they're like, "Oh, they're all right." I'm like,
"They're all right."
That's a crazy situation. I think that's like,
I would be
there are a lot of sorry.
I mean, no, but Paul was like, "Yeah, of course they were great," but.
Yeah, my brother was amazed. Like, he's like, you have like this iconic band, really? I mean, they've been around a long ass time. They're awesome. I've never seen them live. I really want
4 years ago.
Yeah, it was, and like he's like, there's probably a couple thousand people, and there's only like a few hundred even paying attention to the band.
I know that's the thing about corporate gigs. Corporate gigs are kind of tricky.
They were so appreciative of it, like you said. I mean, they were up there fucking doing their craft,
The people that knew who they were, they had the time of their life, right?
Well, I'm sure they were compensated very fairly for that.
Oh yeah. It was, but whatever.
No, I've never seen Death Cab. Have you seen?
No, I've never seen them.
And they're high on my list. Everyone talks about their bucket list. I don't really have one. I have bands I want to see. I think a lot of the ones I like, oh my God, I have to see. I've seen them. But they're one I haven't seen, and you know what? I think it was last year they toured, and it was Death Cab for Cutie, and I think Postal Service.
Yeah, they were touring together because it's the same lead singer.
Right. And I'm like, oh my God, that would have been like the best first show ever, to get there. But we'll get them. We'll get them.
We'll get them.
But we always do say on Two Dudes, like, if you can go, because you never know if they're ever coming back.
If you can go, because you never know.
There you go. He does have the voice, Neil. I can see you guys collaborating on a song.
A lovely singing. I don't know why I'm singing that's funny. That's natural.
Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time. I'm really excited. I'll keep listening and yeah, keep me updated as for when this will
Absolutely.
go live.
Yeah, we'll stay in touch for sure. I love what you're doing. Definitely I'll keep an eye on your socials and everything you got going on, but I'll probably reach out to you as well just because, it's always good to have new friends, you know.
Yeah. Friends are important. Friends are
Grown
everything.
ass men should be making friends. So.
Well, that is the thing. It's as you get older, it's harder to make new friends. And I think
100%.
that's why we do what we do and structure things the way we do at the Wild Honey
And
Pie.
music just makes friends in general. You know, you go to a
Exactly.
show, it's
Exactly.
hard not to make a new
Heard
friend.
people
So,
say,
right.
I have enough friends. Fuck off. I
Yeah.
have as many friends as you fucking have.
but
All
no,
right,
I
guys.
absolutely appreciate you having you on, Eric. We'll keep an eye on you and have a good rest of your day.
All right. Thanks so
All right,
much.
take care.
Thanks, bro.
Bye.